In today's video, we're checking out the Caline Barn Owl Reverb pedal. This is a Cavernous Reverb. You can get a really lush and wet reverb tone by using the mix and decay control up here. The tone control also adjusts how bright the reverb actually sounds. A massive thank you to Caline for sending this out for the review. I really appreciate it. If you want to check this out, I'll link it down below. You're going to hear this in the context of a short jam track, and then we'll get over to some isolated tones. Here we go. I'll just give you a quick overview of how the Barn Owl Reverb works. So we get a mix control, which changes your wet and dry signal. With it this way, you're going to hear more of the reverb effect. With it this way, you'll get more of your dry guitar signal. Up the top here, we have our decay control, which changes how long the reverb will linger around. With it this way, it's going to last a lot longer. This way, it's more like a bathroom reverb. The tone control on this side adjusts the brightness of the reverb sound. I'll give you a full rundown of that in just a moment. To power the pedal, you need a 9-volt DC power supply. The great news is when you supply power to the pedal, it lets you know by lighting up this LED that's built into this jack. We get a nice soft push button here. I haven't noticed any pops or clicks as I turn this pedal on and off through my amplifier. When we turn it on, this light on the front will be enabled. This new range of Caline pedals has exceeded my expectations. If you want to check this out, I'll link it down in the description box below. Here we go. All right, let's kick it off in today's video. I've got the pedal going through the effects loop or the preamp in and out on my Fender Blues Deluxe reissue amplifier. We're on the clean channel. We're going to start with the Barn Owl off just to show you how dry the signal is without any reverb. So nothing happening there whatsoever. Let's turn this on. As you can see, it trails off beautifully. I've got the dwell set up at about 9 o'clock, and even there, it's still got a lot of linger to it, which is great. We'll go over to neck pickup, and we'll take a look at the tone control. It's currently set to 12 o'clock. We can warm up the sound by turning it down this way. As you can hear, the reverb's not as bright now. If we turn it the other way, it's going to have more tops in the overall reverb tonality. Beautiful. And back down as a point of comparison. Let's take a look at the decay control, which changes the duration of the linger of the reverb. So after you stop playing, this changes how long it stays around for. This is neck and middle pickups. All right, you can hear it sort of trail off. Let's turn it up to about 1 o'clock. it's a massive difference, hey. All right, let's crank it up even more here. Cavernous Reverb, that's what this does, and that's a good example of how it sounds. Let's go for a really prominent cavernous reverb. So I've just turned the decay all the way up, and I've got the mix most of the way to the right. So you're going to be hearing more of a wet signal now than my actual guitar tone. Let's give this a shot. It's not really my bag, but it sounds pretty cool if you're into that sort of really ambient sort of sound. Now the cool thing is, if you let a note ring out, for example, and you want to stop the pedal and then turn it back on, it allows you to do so, and I'll show you what I mean. And that is lost, which I really like. I much prefer that rather than just turning it back on and hearing it still going in the background. So yeah, I love the fact they've included that in this pedal. And lastly, over to the mix control, I'm just going to show you a quick sample of how this changes the overall sound. I've got it all the way to the right, which is as wet as it goes. Here we go. Beautiful. Thanks for watching, folks. My name's Shane. A huge thanks to Caline again for sending this out. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down in the description box below. I'm going to give you my thoughts about it. Now, the great thing about this particular series of pedals is they've all exceeded my expectations. This one isn't the sort of pedal that I would use for reverb. I much prefer a spring reverb type sound. You can kind of emulate it with the dwell down and also with the mix down, but it is a cavernous reverb. So if you're into playing more of an ambient sort of sound, or you want that big, rich reverb tone, that's where this really shines. So it's up to your personal use case. I would have loved to have seen a switch on there giving us two different variations of tone, but it is what it is. Overall, for the price, this is an absolutely great reverb pedal. It doesn't add any extra noise or hiss to your signal chain or anything like that. You heard it going through the effects loop of my Blues Deluxe. I thought it sounded pretty great. Let us know what you think. Thanks again for watching. If you want to see more from this particular series of pedals, I'll leave a playlist up in the cards. Catch you soon. See ya.